What's going on, everyone? We are going to cover today's price action. Today is July the 14th, and the reason why I want to cover today's price action is because it goes over an indicator that I've spoken about a few times in my YouTube videos. So if you guys aren't following my YouTube channel, definitely give a subscribe because I do drop weekly, daily gems on different levels, on different indicators, different strategies. But the level that we're going to be focusing on today is the daily 5 SMA. Now, I have it plotted on my chart on the Thinkorswim. I do use Thinkorswim to do all of my charting, as I do trade equities and options on Thinkorswim through Charles Schwab. And then I just execute my prop firm orders via Project X with Top Step or TraderVate with Apex, so forth and so forth. So with that being said, you're looking at the green line here. That's your daily 5. Okay, so this is a daily 5 moving average. Now, the reason why I like to track the daily 5, it's the nearest shortest term sentiment for who has control intraday typically. Okay, so typically, again, nothing is for certain in trading, and you guys all know that. I'm pretty sure you guys understand that. But anytime price action gets above the daily 5, you typically want to be long. Okay, if the price action is trading below the daily 5, then you can still trade long, but you're going to look at it as an area of supply, definitely take some profits there and start a new trade once we reclaim it. And if we get rejected at the daily 5, you definitely want to stay on a short-sided bias. So with that being said, there was a period of time today, a nice pocket where we broke and closed over our daily 5 SMA, and that happened to be at 7:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, there was a lot of price action that happened prior to the 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time print, but again, if you get to a point in your trading career, you get to a point in your trading journey where you're not so anxious to take a dozen trades off the open, and you're kind of just a little bit more chillaxed, and you're kind of waiting for something good to happen, waiting for a technical level, you're going to have a little bit more success. Okay, again, don't take what I'm saying as concrete, but you're going to have more success if you're a lot more patient and you're taking fewer trades. Okay, so with that being said, once we got above the daily 5 SMA, it provided a great scalping opportunity. So I play it one of two ways. I wait for the daily 5 to get broken, which was broken at 7:20. Number two, you can take it as soon as price action confirms the break. Okay. Now, the second way you can play it a little bit more conservative, but you can wait for a candle to actually close over the daily 5 and then enter in on a following candle that confirms the closure over the daily 5. The daily 5 is the 5 simple moving average, the daily 5 simple moving average. So again, on your charting platform, you might have it, you might not. Again, if you can't plot it on your chart, you can always reference your daily chart and then just place the 5 SMA on your daily chart, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so once we broke and closed, once we confirmed, I treat everything as a scalp, right? And I was clearly looking at Friday's highs as a potential next area of supply. So, 23,025 was definitely an area that I wanted to focus on. And if you were to get in on this price action, once we confirmed that closure or even the break over the daily 5, you would have been entering into this trade somewhere around 22,992. Okay, so 22,992. Once you get into this trade, you are targeting 23,024. Now, does that mean that you have to absolutely hold for it to touch 23,024? No. You want to take profits into that supply zone. And depending on the way that you trade, I'm a scalper, so I'm looking for anything between 5, 10, 15 points. If I get a quick 5, sometimes I'll sell out, depending on how many contracts I'm holding. If I'm trading one mini contract and I can pick up a quick $100, and in 30 seconds, in a minute, I'm going to pick up $100. That'd be like you walking down the street and there's nobody around, right? There's nobody around in sight. And there's a $100 bill laying on the floor. Well, I think the majority of people would probably pick up the $100 bill. It's like someone knocked on your door and you open the door and they say, hey, Mrs. Smith, Mr. Smith, here's a $100 bill. And you say, well, I didn't ask for a $100 bill. No one gave it to me. And they say, no, you know what? I'm going around town and I'm giving out $100 bills. I think you would take the $100 bill. So anytime you get a quick $100 bill, I tend to like to lock that up. Now there's times where you're going to get 10 points, which is $200 on a mini contract. I definitely recommend to trade 5 micros. So we're talking more about, you know, $50 trades, $100 trades. But if you can try to pick up the fast cash and try to play it as safe as possible, and you can use these levels on a day in and day out basis, you're going to have a lot more success. If you're just patient enough, right? If you're just patient enough to wait for some of these levels to get confirmed, you're going to do really, really well for yourself. So with that being said, the moral of the story here in this video, start using and utilizing the daily 5 SMA and start looking for trades around that daily 5. Look for rejections, look for break and retest, look for breakouts, look for breakdowns. Using the daily 5 intraday is going to help you tremendously. Now, it's not going to give you a million setups a day, but if it comes into play, you're going to get a decent setup or two. Now, the first setup was here. The second setup would be when we broke and started to consolidate, started to barcode, and we were holding this daily 5. Now you can start to build a little bit of a model, a little bit of a strategy where you can kind of use this area here as a soft cushion, as a stop loss, right? So if we start to break down below this daily 5, you can exit your trade. And as long as we are trading over the daily 5, you can try to hold and squeeze out a little bit more cash on this potential setup. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you guys are looking for Apex evaluation accounts, right now we are still offering 50% off. You can use code DAnthony. If you guys would like to join myself and the rest of the team trading each and every single day live, where we're kind of using these levels each and every single day, trying to talk about them in real time, definitely join the room. I have one space available for the month of July going into August. I will see you guys on the inside. That link is down in the description box below, and I'll catch all of you guys on the next video.